Chaos Breaker Dragon. Love it or hate it, it has returned to the standard format. But what does this mean? Well, this can go either one of two ways. The first way is that if it's a more tame version lock, like Artasaria for example, that would be fine. It would be manageable. It wouldn't cause too much of an issue. But if it goes the other way, like it has in the past, then it could cause a couple implications. So the first thing is that if they go down this route, is first of all, the meta would be divided into two parts. The first part will be decks that can deal with lock, and decks that cannot. This essentially means that Chaos Breaker Dragon will be the gatekeeper of the format, depending if your deck is a deck that has necessary tools to be a good deck, because it can play around lock, and if your deck can't, you're essentially in the lower bracket. Which means going forward, when you're designing your decks, you have to make sure you can play around lock. Because Chaos Breaker Dragon is a very popular unit, which means a lot of people will be playing it. Because of this card now releasing as well, I do believe Bushiroad would be working out a means to design cards that can play around this mechanic. Some decks would already be able to play around it, such as clearing their board, having restanding Vanguard attacks, and so forth. But one thing I will say is that the Chaos Breaker Dragon has come out at a good time where a lot of decks can play around the mechanic, even if it does end up being good. Now, the reason why Chaos Breaker Dragon was really good back in the day was it was a deck that could essentially do the triangle lock. So what that means is that Chaos Breaker Dragon would lock both your front, right, and left rearguard circle, and it would lock your center back row, the one behind your Vanguard. That way, it would stop you from doing anything in general, and it would slow down the game. Which is another point as well, is that if it ends up being really good, the game will slow down a lot. Now, that in turn isn't a bad thing if the meta does end up slowing down as well, because that now means instead of going a fast format, which we are generally in right now, a lot of decks will have a lot more breathing room, will end up being solid because of how much slower the meta will become. And that's pretty much about it that I want to talk about Chaos Breaker Dragon today. But what are your thoughts? Be sure to leave them down in the comments down below. If you think I missed anything, let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them there. Alrighty, A-Dogs out. See ya.